Forza con le braccia, vocatori!
Beginning of the 9th century, some of the Norman tribes put an end to their piracy on the seas of northern Europe. With this move, they gave up their past of violence and bloodshed and began settling on British soil. Among the first of the Normans to do this was the tribe of Olaf, which found hospitality on the feudal lands of Oliver, Count d'Anglon, a faithful supporter of His Majesty the King, who ruled one of the 7 states into which England was divided at that time. What are we to do?
Defend ourselves, that's all we can do.
To your battle stations! All bowmen to port side! Ready to attack!
Be good now, darling. Don't be afraid. There, my darling.
Watch your side. Harry. There. Come on. Come on, William. Come on. Give up yet, William? Come on. If you quit, you lose.
It would be no dishonor to lose to the most brilliant swordsman of all England.
Thank you. That's a compliment. On guard. Anybody else?
No.
You, Eric?
Everyone knows the Duke of Saxony is the champion, and today my right arm aches. It's very fortunate.
Ah, come on. Just for the exercise. Since the king's seen fit to leave us here, I'll take on anyone. Eh? Sorry. Oh, well, if you must deprive me of this pleasure. I am sure, however, you won't deprive me of your company tonight, will you? Agreed?
Agreed.
Good, you can
Yes, with women and wine.
Pleasure, Excellency. And what would our lives be without women and wine?
Good day to you, Wilfred. Women and wine. A man who has no vices. My compliments.
My queen.
Were it not for the wine, you'd think only of women.
For me, there's only one woman, Your Highness. And for her, I'd give my life.
You're impossible, but I forgive you. As you may have found out, His Majesty is coming home tonight.
Yes, I know. Your royal husband is returning to occupy his throne and his place at your side, unfortunately for me. The only consolation is that I'll be relieved of the responsibilities of looking after his kingdom.
Elizabeth, get everything prepared for the king's arrival.
If I were in the king's place, I'd never leave such a lovely bride alone.
Your uncle knows he has nothing to be afraid about.
Must I live without hope?
Certainly. As I've often told you. Too often. But I'm sure you're just joking.
All right, if that's what you want. Give it a look.
It'll be much better if one of them brings the news to the palace.
Oh, there.
Get those cases. We must unpack them. Move now.
Who'd have thought we'd have to disguise ourselves as Normans?
Disguise was an excellent idea. Bandits, I want to know who orders you.
You'll find out. You'll find out in good time. Tie him up. Go on. So much gold will be appreciated. It'll please Wilfred, don't you think?
The king's seal is on every bag. That makes it dangerous for anyone holding them.
Here's the water for you.
Thank you, daughter.
What are you doing? You must excuse her, Your Grace. Knife throwing means no more to my daughter than playing games.
It is a game compared to throwing a hatchet. In any case, I find I'm really quite good at that, too, now.
Ah, such talk. A girl grows up without a mother, and that's how it is. Still, she's kept me from missing the fact that I never had a boy. Only she has a terrible character.
But we must remember that although only a few years ago she was a mischievous little girl, we must now consider her a grown lady.
Oh, well, one of these days she will have her man, her children, and for me there will be only a small place in her heart, huh? Did you come to see how the building of the bridge was progressing?
Ah, yes. How is the bridge?
We used up all the timber we had, so we're felling some more trees. The problem is transportation. If you like, come to the river with me and see for yourself, huh?
In a day or so. I'll be sending my herald before I come for protection.
It won't save your grace, because the one thing that frightens you and your heralds is grown-up ladies.
You really like this English Count. How simple it is to please women when you're rich and powerful. Please give me a chance. Don't run away.
Don't touch me, do you hear?
You like being touched by the Count. Well, close your eyes and make believe
Go.
he's kissing you. You can pretend.
Let me go!
If you try that again, I'll kill you. Did he hurt you?
No. Don't tell my father. He'd be angry. And besides, I'm all right.
You're right.
Thor!
Tell me, what were you trying to do? This won't happen again.
Thor, that's
I'll
enough
teach
now.
you.
Don't. Let him go.
Leave here, and don't ever return.
You pay for this.
You mustn't pay attention to him. He's a coward.
I know, but don't let him near you.
I won't. You've always been a protector to me. You were.
Protector.
How bad I was. Once I even stole this coin from you. Remember that?
I remember. And how angry you made me. Such a little girl, and already you were annoying men.
But you were amused.
I found it amusing. And you certainly took advantage.
A marvelous wine, Barton. We'll have to try and remember it.
That your master now?
I don't know, sir. I'll look and see. Yes, it's the Count.
Then hurry to meet him and tell him we're here, and quickly.
Get me some other clothes.
Ah, Canton Long.
Your humble servant, Count
James and Barton. And to what do I owe this gracious visit? The Queen has called a meeting of the Council. It's early tomorrow. We came here simply to inform you.
This meeting has been called quite suddenly. Tell me, is there anything wrong?
It may have something to do with the King's homecoming.
Ah, glad to hear the good news. This evening you must stay and dine with me.
It would be our pleasure, I'm sure. But we have a great many things to do before the day is over.
I'll see you tomorrow at the meeting then.
Till tomorrow.
Till tomorrow. The most dangerous part of the voyage was over. We were on Count Danglon's land, going through the forest with the gold from the tributes that we had collected. It was not a great amount. At times in the past, we have transported much more than that. We were so sure of our safety that the king had recalled the scouting parties. Needless to say, we were happy to be at the end of our long trip. Suddenly, there was a whistling of arrows. Several of our group were hit and fell without having been able to defend themselves. The attack was such a well-planned surprise, and it came so fast that all our valor and all the courageous efforts we made in the hope that we could save our king were to no avail. The Normans, after showering us with arrows, attacked us with hatchets, concentrating especially on the king. They fell on him and dragged him off his horse. Then he was surrounded. Well, a minute after that, my horse got out of hand and I lost control. Because of that, I'm alive. I don't imagine anyone else escaped the Normans.
Vengeance for our king! Death to the Normans! Chase the barbarians from our land! Take them out! Death to the traitors!
My liege, I know how we all feel. This report indeed is a great sorrow to us all. However, we should not give way to our feelings. In justice, we must hear the Normans too. It would be wrong to condemn the tribe, and only on the basis of one man's testimony. We can be certain this man has given his report in good faith, but misfortune may have dazed his mind. The Normans have settled on our land. They came here in order to make a lasting peace, don't forget. We know that. You can't question their faith to the crown. Let them explain.
If a band of pirates needs explaining.
You know you can trust me. I'll answer for their deeds.
But no one has any trust in you, Oliver.
You must be mad to speak that way to me. How dare you infer that
I dare, because...
That will be enough. Ample proof of your guilt has been found. And only yours. And your treason is plain. I cannot imagine what it was you were planning. But this sack of gold with the royal seal was found in your castle, and I might add it was very well hidden.
But someone's plotting against me. He must have hidden it.
You hid it after you killed the king.
You lie.
For the time being, it's not sure the king is dead, Wilfred. But we'll punish the traitor, because we're certain there is one.
That means you, Oliver.
You'll pay for this. On my honor, I'll take no insult from a coward.
Coward, were you?
You will stop this, Wilfred. You're no longer worthy of carrying the arms of the king. Do as I command you. I order this traitor to be imprisoned. Our well-founded suspicions against the Count forces the Crown to take all the precautions necessary to safeguard the kingdom. I order a council of his peers to gather and consider all the evidence.
Thomas, prepare to fight against the Normans. We must take action in retaliation, as you say, and without any pity.
At last, we'll be safe here. Will the English be so foolish as to come into the forest? They'll get the worst of the battle.
How horrible. The village destroyed and so many of our men killed without reason. I can't believe it.
Imagine, if most of us had not been away at work, not one of us would have been spared.
But what made them do such a terrible thing? They've betrayed us. But why? Do all the years we've spent here mean nothing to the English?
Yes, of course. Count Danglars would be able to give an explanation for what occurred. Huh?
You know he's always protected us. He's not responsible for what they've done.
And he'd appear only he's afraid.
Hold up! Hold up!
Well, what did you find out?
His Majesty was assaulted. No one knows very much about it. The English are convinced we are the ones who ambushed him.
That explains it. It's the reason for this reprisal. But it's almost impossible they'd believe we'd do it. Count Danglars, were you able to speak with him?
They think he organized it. So now he's in prison. Tomorrow morning he's going to hang.
It's clear there's been a plot against us. Please, Father, you have to save him at any cost. He's always been our friend.
I don't know how it can be done, but I must.
Hey, guard. I'm talking to you. Do you hear me?
What do you want? What is it?
I'm thirsty.
Yeah.
Give me a drink. Give me something to drink.
Don't shout and don't give me any orders. In here, I give the orders. You don't count for anything, understand? Don't bother me. Wait, you're thirsty? There, drink.
Filthy swine.
You must have courage, Patricia. You must resign yourself.
I'm not going to. I can't stop thinking. Who knows what's happened to the king? His body was never found. What if he's alive? If he's a prisoner of the Normans?
The Normans don't take prisoners. Don't dream. There's only one thing we can do. Avenge him. Avenge the king. Tomorrow, after the execution, we'll go to Oliver's castle. And using the castle as a base, we'll strike against the Normans. For me, there can be no peace in England as long as there's a single Norman on English soil.
Will vengeance return my husband? How am I to rule without experience, to guide the fate of the kingdom?
Patricia, I'm at your side with all my affection, my devotion.
If you want to earn my affection, do all you possibly can to find the king. Till tomorrow, Rupert.
Tomorrow.
Damon, open up. It's time.
Come, my friend, so you can get it over with.
There he goes.
Strange. I wouldn't think our loyal Count would carry on this much.
The Queen Patricia confirms hereby the death penalty to which Oliver, Count Danglars, was sentenced by the court of his peers, and in order that the culprit be brought to justice on this day, commands that he be hanged by the neck until pronounced dead.
I'd have thought he'd show courage.
He did when he killed someone. To die isn't so easy.
I notice that our monarch is shaken up.
I'll see she won't remember that this ever happened. When I take his castle.
I'm sorry for him, but it was the only way I could save you.
He'll enjoy where he's going. For him, even hell's too good.
And the two executioners. Shall we leave them here?
We can have them picked up later.
You'll be comfortable here, Patricia. Danglars made some mistakes, but he knew how to live.
I'm afraid for the time being, what's happened to the king should be our only consideration.
My queen, please, let me handle it.
We need strong action, as I've already mentioned. Only yesterday, one of our squadrons was assaulted and destroyed right near Falcon's Guard.
All these attacks will finish up by producing panic among the men. The thing we have to do is send in a large force. That ought to clear the Normans out of the forest.
I'd like to suggest that we change the conversation. Let us drink to our gracious queen who is honoring us with her presence. Long live the queen! Long live the queen! What are you thinking about? Tell me.
Nothing, but I'm tired. Do excuse me.
I'll accompany you.
Please, ladies and gentlemen, do continue without me.
Now, my friend, no more sadness. I am still waiting for the kiss you promised.
An important toast, everybody. Here's to Britain and its women.
Apart from my feelings for you, may I please remind you that you need a king to rule by your side that would help the nation.
It appears you've given great consideration to my position only. As to the kings, you've given up. However, I don't think he's dead. What this crown demands of me is important. But I won't choose another husband, as long as I've hope that mine's still alive.
If the Normans were holding the king as their hostage, you would certainly have known about it. They'd be asking for ransom.
Even if you are correct, and you may be, I must have time before I decide.
Just how long?
It depends on you. I want proof that leaves no doubt as to the fate of the king.
Well, then, I won't have to wait.
It's better if you go.
Ladies, gentlemen. Quiet, please. Give me your attention, please. Excuse me, please. I know you are pleasantly occupied. You must pardon the interruption for a minute. Her gracious majesty has requested me to announce that she plans in the near future to give me her hand in marriage. We will announce the exact date soon.
I make a toast. Let's lift our cups in the traditional saying, the king is dead, long live the king!
Long live the king!
Guard! Catch him! Quickly! Take him! Hurry!
Follow me, hurry! Open that door.
Martin, I swear it was the Count's ghost. The figure was a phantom.
You're talking nonsense. Phantoms don't shoot arrows. Find anything? Nothing. Come on.
Disappeared.
As if by some magic.
Yes, and I suppose this is magic.
But we all saw him hang.
There's no doubt. It's Oliver. He's alive and he wants vengeance. He's organizing the Normans, organizing them against us. It's Oliver, all right. I'm going to kill them all.
Annihilate them.
Barton, you and James. Now listen. Tomorrow night you must leave for Scotland and get some more mercenaries.
We'll need plenty of gold to get mercenaries.
Don't worry about gold. There'll be gold before you return. As much as they want. And much more than you ever imagined. Courage.
Where'll he find gold?
I know where. The treasure down in the crypt. Did you forget about that?
Treasures I can usually keep in mind, no matter where they're buried. But I didn't know that. But just a minute now. Oh, I begin to see.
And about time. But better late than never. Perhaps you drank too much. Well, let's get prepared. There's a lot to do, and tomorrow we leave.
You are going to tell me. You'll talk. Forgive me, Uncle. Forgive me. I'm a little nervous these days. Forgive me. It's cold down here. I must do something about this. Now, to return to the crown treasure, my dear uncle, I think, as a conscientious subject, and also as a taxpayer, I certainly have the right to ask where it is. Now tell me, where is it? Where have you hidden the treasure?
Be assured, one day you will be hanged.
Perhaps, my king, perhaps. But at the moment, I wouldn't think so. Wait a minute. I know where it is. Why, it was a logical place. The castle at Chester. Why else would you go there so often? It must be there.
Since you seem sure the treasure's there, then you must be ready to kill me.
Well, that's my plan. But first you'll tell me where it is.
Find it.
Yes, you're right. I would say the same. And maybe more. I'll tell you what I'll offer. I'll give you time to think. Time to think about it. Yes or no? Not too much time, naturally. I'm in a hurry. And I fear a delay would be dangerous for both of us.
Get out.
I was going to. I've told you everything. Cold here. Really cold. I'll have to remedy that.
Are the arms we have sufficient, or should we prepare more? What do you think?
We have more than we need. We could arm 100 more men if we had them.
Very well. And you, Yvonne, how are you advancing with your scaling tower?
It's nearly finished. And I assure you, with such a tower, we should have no trouble in scaling those walls.
Very good. And are your men able to manage bows and arrows?
I should say so. I've never seen anyone learn so quickly. Some of them are better than I am.
The rest will be up to you, Count. Since you know the castle and all its weak points, you will have to make out a plan of attack.
Yes, I've prepared it already. We'll start the attack along the beach by the hills. I've told you about the castle and all its defenses. So now you can inform your men.
Well, men, there's no moat around the castle, and that's our very good fortune.
What's wrong? Aren't you well? What is it? Tell me. What made you leave our meeting?
I'm frightened. Why attack the castle anyway? Maybe the castle can be conquered. But what good will that do?
I have to catch Wilford in order to force his confession. It's the only way that I can really prove I didn't do it. You're frightened. You shouldn't be afraid. You must trust me.
I want to trust you. Your purpose is right. But I love you too much to chance losing you.
I love you too. I've never spoken to you of my love because I never guessed you felt that way too.
I'm so happy.
daughter. What are you doing? What is this sudden burst of affection? Have you been up to one of your tricks?
I'm just so happy, Father.
And I am, too.
Now, will you please explain what's going on?
This will be a surprise.
He loves me.
Well, for your information, I knew it sometime before either of you. And I also knew that one day I'd lose you. One day. Sooner or later.
After all, you won't be losing her. We'll all be together.
There's something I'm going to have to tell you. I never mentioned it up till now because it wasn't necessary. I felt it was for Tanya's sake. She best not know till the proper time will come.
What is all this about?
Well, it's something you both have a right to know now. You're not my daughter. Can't imagine my feelings.
I won't believe it ever. You made up a story, didn't you? Oh, please don't.
I've got to tell you.
In quel tempo per noi normanni il mare era l'unica risorsa e la lotta contro gli inglesi per il suo predominio era senza quartiere.
Look what we have here. If they want this one back, they'll have to pay her weight in gold.
Drunken pigs. Nothing better to do.
Hold up, look what I found. She might be worth something. What do you think?
Come, we must return on board immediately.
On board? An abandoned
Yes, she's
ship?
burning. If we don't leave immediately, our ship will catch fire, too. All right. I'll take you aboard. And as the gods are my judge, I brought you up as my own.
But that means she's English.
And of high birth. Of this I'm quite sure. I have something I'd like to show you. Here. The child was wearing this when I took her from the sinking ship. Here. Look at it.
But this coat of arms was the king's when he was the Duke of Essex.
That would mean I was... No, it's impossible.
But yes, it's true. I know about the story of his daughter. The story's right. The British vessel, the year, this coat of arms. You are the king's daughter. He thought you died with your mother. He mourned you both for years. We have all the proof we need. There isn't any doubt about it. No doubt at all.
Don't be sad. You're my father always. The only one. Because though someone else may have given me life, you gave me something much more. You gave love and your protection.
All clear ahead. I got all the way to the other end of the forest without meeting a soul.
And you?
Nothing. I didn't see a single Norman.
Well, for the time being, we don't want to see any. We're going on. Forward!
impatient as you are to see the situation come to an end. But it's only a matter of a few days.
You're certain it'll not be much longer?
Yes, with the mercenaries Barton is bringing.
Guard! Guard!
Patricia.
James. But how's it possible? How'd they ever get him in here?
What are you standing there for? Take him away. Go on. Get out.
Wait. Tell the captain of the guard to double the watches and not to let anyone enter without my order. Go on.
Why, this signifies that Barton and James have been ambushed. That's certain.
Worse. It means that the Scottish mercenaries won't get here. We must find out where the Normans are hiding. Must.
That won't be easy, unfortunately. We don't have enough men. The Normans know that forest and can keep on the move very easily.
I know. The Queen will have to return to the palace and send us some more men.
As soon as possible.
Thomas, when you get time, will you take food to the king?
Bread and water?
No, I think I'll change it a bit. Water and bread. This is a great loss for us, Patricia. A great loss. But it means more than that. We can't count on the arrival of the mercenaries. After this incident, I feel the castle isn't safe any longer.
How terrible. The way those eyes were staring.
We'll need more troops, you know. Or we're lost. Therefore, you'll have to leave. Immediately.
No, Wilfred. I've decided to remain here till I know what's happened to the king.
No. You must return to the palace immediately. Only you can order the peers to assemble more troops, and then... I feel you're not safe here. It's very dangerous. You're too precious to England and your people. And to me. You must go now. I'll join you. As soon as I can. I will arrange your escort. You leave at dawn. We've got to act with speed. Good night.
Well, Barton, will you tell us how the king's gold managed to get into my castle? Or shall I tell my friends to begin?
Are you certain your men aren't going to miss their mark? Barton knows a lot. He's a terribly important witness for me. I need him alive. Can they do it?
As to that, rest assured, I chose the best we had. He will tell us their plans, unless he dies of fear first.
Barton, there's only a little time.
I don't know anything. Nothing at all. Here? No. No, I'll tell you anything I know. No. No.
Why did he do it?
I don't mean I know more than you, Your Excellency. But I'm telling you, you won't catch the Normans by a surprise attack because you can't. Our men know this forest inside out better than yours do.
But we caught you.
Only because I wanted to get caught. Otherwise, you would never have succeeded.
Oh?
Yes, and this is why. I've got something to tell. News I was sure you'd be interested in having. This was simply the best way to put myself in your hands, you see, in order to offer you my services. It was I who killed Barton, just as he was about to talk. But that's nothing compared to the information I have.
And what is it? You know. So interesting.
Oh, it's interesting and of value. What I know could change many things. It's worth your gratitude in gold. Look at this.
And what is that rag?
It's a long story, but it won't bore you. You've given me permission to tell it to you.
I'm listening.
A few days ago, there was something I had to tell Olaf. I was just about to enter his tent.
In the forest. It was you.
Count Danglars. I should have known as much.
My liege.
I can only assume your deference to my person is another insult. Your barbarians assaulted us, led me here, and took my escort away. Shall I consider myself your prisoner, or expect the fate you dealt to His Majesty?
Well, I've already tried once to prove my innocence and my faithfulness to the crown, but no one believed me. You may continue on your journey, my queen. I will come to you as soon as I've discovered who the guilty man really is.
Well, then I can go.
Of course, my lady.
And my escort?
I will have them liberated. But I beg you not to blame the Normans. All we are doing is looking for traitors here. I swear to you, we have harmed no one but traitors.
Masters this time. You'll see that you're a wonderful master.
It's a good one.
Do you think the Count will be pleased with the horse?
Yes, I'm sure. Anyone would love a horse like this.
Well, Count Danglars is used to good horses. He must have had fine ones at his castle.
Coming. I know. Have a little patience.
You know, it still doesn't seem possible that I'm engaged to the Count Danglars. Do you think I'll make a good lady of the manor?
Of course you will.
And how would you?
Because it's in your blood. Olaf said you were the daughter of a nobleman, didn't he?
Thor!
Be quiet.
Go with me, do you hear? This time I'll tell him.
Quiet.
He'll murder you.
You won't be able to tell him anything, because you won't be seeing Olaf anymore.
What is it you want? What do you mean by that?
Don't be worried. I won't harm you. I'd rather have the gold I'll get from the Duke of Saxony than you.
Bully, coward, Thor! Thor, help! Help me! He's taking me to the Duke of Saxony! Help! Thor! Help!
Lasagna! Thor! Thor! Lasagna!
Impossible that they disappeared.
Search behind the fence. Thor! But where did they go? Thor,
we have to find them. Thor!
Over here! Hey. I found Thor! See, hurry, he's wounded! Wounded? Over here! Over here! This one. He's wounded.
Thor, what happened? Where's Britannia?
What happened? What have they done with her?
Dag surprised me suddenly, bringing Svetania, Duke of Saxony.
Call all the men immediately to arms. At all costs, we must now attack the castle, and no effort must be spared to save the girl.
Impossible. If we should attack now, the Duke won't hesitate to kill her.
There must be something we can do. We mustn't abandon her.
The best thing is to surprise the guards. The secret passage, only I know it. Come on, Thor.
Look. Look at it. Your coat of arms. Duke of Essex. Know what it means? This girl is your daughter.
My daughter was killed. Someone has made a fool. I advise you to go now. Take this girl with you. Don't try to raise the tent again.
So your daughter is dead. Well, if this girl is not your daughter, then I guess you won't mind if I kill her.
Well, as your prisoner, what have I to say? It'll only be another crime on your conscience. Go on and murder.
I can do better than that. Much better. Death must be administered slowly, otherwise it becomes a commonplace thing. Now, what I'm really interested in is making you talk. But you're stubborn. I'll give you one more chance. Save the princess. And yourself. They say the night brings good counsel. I want to see if it's true. You've time until tomorrow morning so you can think. But when the sun rises, you'll tell me where the treasure is, or you'll die. Both of you, father and child. It'll be a long, slow death. Of that you can be sure.
You are my child.
What are you doing here? Go away.
And my reward? I brought you the king's daughter. I kept Barton from talking.
You're alive, aren't you? Well?
But, sire, don't I merit some reward?
Your payment?
What are you doing?
Give you the payment you deserve.
I didn't mean...
Yes, you'll be paid.
You're not going to kill me.
It's your payment. Go ahead. Look behind you. Defend yourself.
I managed to hide my feelings when I realized who you were, but it was difficult. Wilfred would surely have put you to torture, had I shown how I felt. I didn't dare lose control or betray my emotions.
Oh, Majesty, please, I want...
Here in prison, I'm no longer a king. My only job is to make sure you get out.
Oh, then listen to what I say. Give up the treasure to the Duke of Saxony. It's not that I'm frightened for me, but for you.
That secret is the only hope there is to stay alive, believe me. You must see that. The minute he knew it, he'd have to have me killed.
So Count Danglars was rescued by us. And because he knows we were innocent, he's on our side.
One thing I'm sure. The Queen doesn't suspect me. She wouldn't put up with their treachery. Take this. Probably I won't ever be delivered from this prison. But if you're saved, I want you to have them. With that, you can tell them on the outside just what happened.
They're coming for me. Help may come at any moment.
Smetana! Where are you? Smetana!
After them! All right, go!
Normans will find out.
She didn't get through. Or they'd be.
But you haven't given her a chance.
Must open somehow. One of these stones must move a lever. Thomas, come.
At last! Oh, you're safe, my daughter. Here, sit down.
And where is the Count? And Thor?
They held off the guards while I got out. But they had time to get the king away.
Ah, the king's alive, then.
Don't ask me about it now. We've got to attack, so we can save them before it's too late. You there, get me a horse. Hurry!
But what for?
I've got to get to the Queen and ask her to help us.
All right, call all the men together. Brothers and Normans, the Count d'Anglon, Thor, and the king are prisoners of the Duke. It may be they've already been killed. Brutally tortured and killed. The hour is here for action. If we should manage to conquer the castle in time, possibly we can do something to prevent the murder of our friends. If not, we must avenge them. Their fortifications won't halt us. The Duke and his men can't hold us back. We'll split their defense. We'll force it by having half our men come in from the side of the sea, while the rest are attacking from the front. We take no chances on our success. The victory is sure to be ours. Hey! Hey! Hey!
By now it's apparent that the real traitor and our only enemy is the Duke of Saxony. Gentlemen, we must act without delay. The king's life is in peril. You may go. I pray they may arrive in time now.
They will, Your Majesty. Let's go.
Sire. The Normans are advancing.
Archers, forward!
Move the women.
Get the women out!
Stop your men. Thomas, you stay here. You men come with me.
All right. Go.
Let's go.
Wilfred!
This time you won't get away. I don't want to, Oliver.
Oliver. But this is Thor's.
He sacrificed his life, my dear, to save me.
He would. Oh.
Let us thank God and be grateful to him for granting us life. Rise up, Count Danglars.
Long live the king! Long live the king!
My good friends, thanks to you, my throne and the people of England are threatened no longer, and now the danger is past. we herewith name Count d'Anglon the Duke of Chester, and we give all the Normans who have so valiantly fought under Olaf the same rights as all our own citizens.
It's a joyous day for all of us. And you're very sad, Olaf.
The Queen is right. There'll be a place in our daughter's heart for both of us from now on.
There will certainly be a place, sire. But there isn't going to be much room for either of us.